Welcome back to DS Trucks. In today's video, I want to talk about the perfect non-CDL setup, meaning that the truck and trailer combined are staying under the 26,001 pounds. That would put the setup in a Class A CDL. Now, why does this matter? Well, this is something you have to think about before you buy a truck or before you buy a trailer, depending on which one you already have. For example, if this were a single rear wheel F350 with a payload package, the gross vehicle weight rating would be so high that it would put you over 26,001 pounds with this trailer. Now, that's all fine and dandy if you have a CDL Class A license, but if you're running a business and you're hiring people, you're gonna need to hire CDL drivers if you go over that 26,001 pounds. Now, some areas have different laws. Like some areas, for example, will require a CDL sooner or at a lower rating than the 26,001 pounds, but federally mandated, anything over 26,001 pounds in the United States is going to be a CDL Class A. Now, for example, I got a friend right now, he's got an F350, he's got a diesel. He's also got the payload package. Better rear spring pack. This truck, you can see it's sagging a little bit. It's squatting a little bit. Probably wouldn't be squatting quite as much with the 350 rear springs with that payload package, but he'd be in CDL territory. Now, you could probably get away with it. Most local areas, if you stay in a certain area, depending on where you are, they are not checking. For example, I know where I am. Really, they're not checking, but you never know. Like, you can get on the highway and out of nowhere a state trooper pops out. So something to consider. But another thing to consider is, even if you don't ever get caught CDL driving without a CDL, any kind of accident could be an issue. Like, it could be a little fender bender, and once things start getting looked into a lot more, that could become an issue. Or if anybody were to ever get hurt in some kind of accident, then that can be a bigger issue. Now, why does it matter? Why is it something you want to think about before you make a purchase? Now, with the F250, this is a perfect CDL setup, but not really. There's one little bit of a flaw, and that is, like I said, it doesn't have those 350 rear springs. I guess the rear springs could get upgraded, or the truck can be equipped with like airbags, but either one of those things is not necessarily cheap or easy. It would have been better from the start to have a 350. But now, the thing about the F350 that you might want to know is, when you order one of these trucks, and typically that is the way things have been going over the last couple of years, is you have to order a truck in advance. You have to order it at least something like 6 months to 6 to 8 months, sometimes even a year. You have to order a truck in advance. Well, if you're going to be ordering one of these trucks, why not just order a 350? It has better resale value. It has better towing. It has the better rear spring package. It's going to cost a little bit more, but not that much more. Like, the resale value is going to be worth it. Way more than the extra money. It might cost like an extra $1,000 to $1,200 for a 350. But the difference is, you could derate the 350 down to a 10,000 gross vehicle weight rating. You can get a derate package. It doesn't cost you anything. You still got a 350. You just don't have the payload. Now, as far as engine choices, whether gas or diesel, to stay out of CDL territory, a gas engine is better than diesel. Diesel is going to be an extra 800 pounds taken away from your payload. Typically, diesel is going to need a payload package in order to recoup some of the payload that comes from having a big, heavy diesel engine, and all the emissions, they weigh a couple hundred pounds. That comes out of your payload, so they typically throw a payload package on those diesel trucks, which brings you to the same issue. You're going to end up towing a smaller trailer with a diesel truck. Not as big a deal in our area, because for recreational trailers like RVs and things like that, those types of trailers, if you own that trailer and it's for recreation, at least in Michigan, you don't need a CDL to tow a recreational vehicle. Now, gas for this amount of weight, for a 16K, it's a very good weight for a gas engine, 16,000 pounds max. Keep in mind, the trailer is rarely ever at its max payload. typically a trailer like this, if we're hauling like a garage, tearing down a garage or something like that, like wood material, the most we'll get is a ton in here, which is about 2,000 pounds. Or if we were to do like some concrete removal, the most, I mean, you get to the max weight pretty quick, and then at that point, that's where you really start to see those rear springs start to be an issue, and airbags would be warranted. The thing would dang near be sitting on the ground. So that's why a 350 would be the better setup. Now with a 350, even though it would squat down with some heavy weight in it, it would at least have those overload springs that would come into play and make it so it wouldn't get too much out of control with a lot of weight. So that's exactly what we did. It's something to think about. We ordered an F350. It's something to think about. Get the F350, but get the D-rated F350 as far as payload. It's just a click. A lot of salesmen don't know about it. Just let them know. They'd be able to let them know about the D-rated F350, and they'll be able to look it up and see exactly what you're talking about. But it just gives you that added capacity, but keeps you away from that CDL territory. So me personally, I do have the CDL-A, but for my setups where I'm hiring people, it's significantly more expensive and harder to find a CDL driver to pull something like this. CDL drivers are not really looking for these types of gigs. They're looking to lessen the amount of labor that they're doing. They are looking to drive big rigs, and it's unfortunate that this kind of towing gets kind of grouped into big rig towing, but it is the reality. You know, just over 26,001 pounds. It's something that maybe should get lifted a little bit to a higher number, because nowadays trucks and trailers are getting to be so much more capable than they used to be when the original laws were written. For example, I mean, every Super Duty you get is probably going to at least have a 10,001 or 10,000 gross vehicle weight rating, at least minimum. All your heavy duty trucks probably going to come with that, at least minimum, that 10,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. It's not terribly uncommon to see a 16K trailer, dump trailer like this. And I think when they wrote these rules, this amount of payload on a dump trailer would have been a really big dump trailer. But things have changed. I mean, they're putting these better axles on these trailers now, which is nice because you get really nice tires. But these are 17.5 inch rims. I mean, these are commercial tires, and you know, it's good to have. I mean, you get a lot better tread and a lot better wear and all that stuff. But I feel like this is something that back in the day, maybe 15 years ago, wasn't really as common, I would think. But anyway, this is just a quick video talking about the perfect CDL setup. This one's almost perfect. This setup here is almost perfect, being that it is a 250 and the gross vehicle weight rating is 10,000 pounds and will allow me to tow a 16,000 pound trailer. The issue is the truck's only rated to tow like 15,000 pounds. So at 15,000 pounds of towing, I can't maximize the trailer to its max with this truck, which is not a huge deal because we can come within 1,000 pounds of its max, which is probably a good place to be. But the rear springs, you know, the rear springs could use some attention. Rear springs are not cheap. Airbags are probably cheaper than getting whole new rear springs and would probably be a better option. But anyway, guys, tell me what you think about this truck. My name is Sean. This is DS Trucks. This is our 19250. It has got this. It has a 6.2 V8. It's geared to 430. It pulls the weight really nicely. It is a really nice truck. Crew cab, XL with an STX package. We have tons of videos on this truck actually, and if you are interested in some towing videos with this truck, check out the channel. Just type in YouTube search 6.2 towing 14,000 pounds, and I think you'll see some of our videos pop up. We do have a back rack installed on the truck, and we have, I mean, it's nice, guys, having a crew cab. It's locked. It's nice to have like a crew cab. We've got a little mount holding our phone up, but with the crew cab you can get all the tools in the truck, guys. I really do enjoy this setup. But anyway, my name is Sean. I'm gonna get out of here and get back to work. See you guys in the next video. Over and out.